When we landed, there was such a damn bang. I kind of shit myself. Give it to him cold. I'll put on the Crocs. I'll take a picture while I'm shitting on her toilet in her Crocs.
This car is for sale for 230,000, 300,000 or 200,000 zlotys.
Ha! Hey guys, welcome to a new episode.
I just got the info that the Corvette is ready for pickup, so I'm getting on a plane and we're heading south to Krakow.
But I have one more little mission there, which I'll show you as well. I always wonder why people rush straight to the gates and then stand in line for 40 minutes. You can just sit down and relax. I don't know, even board the plane last. The plane won't take off earlier than it's supposed to anyway. Let me know in the comments if you're the type who rushes straight to the line or if you just sit and wait. We're heading to the plane. Alright, we've landed. When we touched down, there was a real bang. I almost crapped myself. Alright, I'm going to look out for Patrick. I'm curious what kind of ride he picked me up in this time, because last time it was an M4. I wonder what it'll be today. Alright, it's an X3, nice.
Hey.
Good morning, you're already on camera, there you go.
Television, Airport Express.
Alright, listen. As for the car, once I get some sleep, we'll talk more about it tomorrow, but for now, I'm taking you to a special place. Alright. I'm here. We've got a welcome player doormat, and we're entering not just any apartment, but the apartment of my friend whose simulator I came here to set up. She's not here because she's on vacation, and her name is Fusialka. Oh, here's the simulator. We got it here from Ireko. Where do you turn on the lights here? This one is probably for the bathroom, damn it. Kazia, where do you turn on the lights here? Oh, there it is. There's a trophy from Swamchin. A diamond record for Fusialka for the album Season 3 Crew. I have to say, it's pretty tidy here, if I had to judge. Another special guest will be arriving soon to help me start getting things organized, because it's super late. It's almost 7 to midnight. Crocs, what kind of feet does she have? And I wear a 43. I'll put them on. My buddy just dropped by with some equipment. I mean, to my place, to Katarzina's place. Hey, Krishu, it's over there.
We've got the gear, so welcome and make yourself at home.
Alright, my friends, here's the deal. We've got the base here and a brand new Alpha. The best thing here is the shifter, man.
I have a universal 3D printed shifter that costs 45 zlotys and works well.
Before the video, tell us what your frame is made of.
It's made of wood.
Under the second load, made of wood. Oh, and now you can see. Hey, is it stiff?
Yes, it's stiff.
What do you mean? The main thing is that it's stiff.
I'm really curious where she got that metal from.
And you know, I have that too. I have that too.
Damn, I was the one handing it out. Where did you get it from if you didn't compete?
Magic.
Here we have the manual controls, manipulators.
They're cool. I like them.
I highly recommend this shifter. It's awesome. You can have both a sequential and an H shifter, and it clicks nicely. And I'll call Katarzyna, take a picture while I'm pooping on her toilet in her Crocs. Because she asked if I arrived. She wrote, "Flush the toilet and get out of my Crocs." Alright, my friends, because this assembly is boring. Once we finish assembling this, I'll cut the video and we'll see what we can and can't manage. See you in a second. Alright, my friends. Look what Krzysiek and I managed to do.
We got the simulator fully working, even the claw.
Look, everything is organized. The cables are neatly arranged. The sim works, it's already configured. What's it like to drive with a setup like this?
It's a dream, butter smooth.
It handles like a charm.
Wherever you want to go, it goes.
Here, nicely done. Krzysiek installed a hub so you can have more branches to connect all the components. So good job, well done. Let it serve Kazia well. And finally, tomorrow I'm going to see the sweet ride with a powerful V8.
All right, it's a beautiful warm day. I see another car that I've seen before, but we'll take a closer look at it on the spot. And we're heading to the new headquarters of Sproat Zamayauta PL. It's really nice to drive a convertible when it's 30 degrees outside. We're getting close to our destination. Patrick just called to prepare a nice welcome. I'm curious, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen this Corvette yet, and I'm really interested to see how it looks. That's why I turned on the camera right as we're entering the headquarters. And it's the new headquarters.
Yes, exactly. Things have changed a bit for us. We managed to move during these few months since we last saw each other. So yeah, I think that's how it's going to be.
Sorry, are they already standing there with the cameras?
A little surprise for you. If you're a connoisseur, there must be cameras too.
Damn, but the crew, the cameras one another? I see there's a welcoming committee.
Welcome to Piri. You better tell him that we have the car further down there. Car, come with us.
Adash, you could at least say hello instead of filming me right away.
I found myself a place like this.
Hey, you crazy guy.
So you wouldn't see me?
Hey, you crazy guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Damn, I've never been in a situation where someone just presented me with a car from under a cover, and it's even a red one. Another camera. Hey, maniac.
We want you to feel like you're picking up a car from the dealership. From now on, when delivering finished cars to clients, I'll unveil them from under a cover to enhance the surprise. And actually, as a test subject, even though the car is still a bit damaged, you'll have a chance to see how it looks. So what do you think? Let's take off the cover.
I think this is actually the first time I'm seeing it. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for such a presentation. Well, as it usually is with these cars from the States, there's a bit of work to do. Although with this car, it's actually not that much, right? Because it wasn't really hit that hard. You sent me the auction photos. Now, my friends, you can see them here as well. And tell me, how much did this car cost delivered to your door? Listen, he can't lie because there will be phone calls soon, since Patrick also got me a car from the States.
The car delivered to the house cost 90,000 zlotys. Then the car went to a body shop so everything could be fitted, measured, and to make sure all the structural points were in the right place. At first glance, from the auction photos, the car might have looked a bit scary. As for the parts we repaired, since it's a Corvette, which is largely made of laminate, these parts can be repaired, and that's the case here with the fender. Another example is the hood, which I'll show you in a moment. As for the interior, where we are now, as you can see, the driver's airbag has deployed. And
my friends, stop cut. Right now we're putting on the wireless mics, so we'll have better sound quality. All right, my friends, we're rolling, so let's lift the hood. And Patrick, go ahead and continue.
listen, when it comes to the repaired parts, like I mentioned before about the fender, the hood has also been repaired in this case because the hinges were broken. And the hood has also been repaired here. As you can see, the fender has also been replaced. You can tell it's not in your color. So basically what you have left to do is paint these parts.
All right, Patrick. So we mentioned that such a Corvette costs 90 grand to your doorstep, but now we have to add the cost of the repairs that you did. Are you able to tell us how much the repair cost, so that in the condition the car is in right now, how much do we need to add to the 90,000 zlotys?
We definitely have to add about 20,000 for sure though. Jesus, but how come? For what? Fender, headlight, hood repair, because we had to make a new mold here. Control arm, because the control arm was damaged.
So Patrick, if you could tell us what version of the car this is, what engine it has, and what the mileage is, because those are the most important things when buying a car.
This is a Corvette C7 with a manual transmission and 48,000 miles on it.
Yes, and 48,000 miles, which means it has very low mileage, which really...
Nice mileage, around 60,000 kilometers, so this car will last a long time. It also holds value as a collector's item, since a Corvette is always a low production car.
There are relatively few of these cars, especially here on the European market.
The tires need to be replaced.
Since the tires need replacing, it's a good chance to change the rims too. This gives you more options. Speaking of that, we also have a damaged rear fender, and again, that's another excuse. And actually, a question for the viewers: which direction would you like us to go? Should we stick with the stock body, or do we want to widen the rear, maybe put a Z06 kit here, just for the rear, of course?
Friends, comment below. Should we widen the rear by 6 centimeters?
By 8 centimeters on each side.
8 centimeters on each side, so 16 centimeters in total for the rear, or should we just leave it as it is and fit it nicely? And when it comes to visual modifications, because that's what we'll mainly focus on with this car, we'll take care of that together with you. So Patrick handled the lights within the 90,000 zloty budget since they were already orange, so nothing needed changing, and he added the fog light too, right? Here on this side, we can see that everything is fine with it. And my dear friends, it's also worth mentioning that the entire body is actually made of composites. There are no metal sheets here, so we can't use a lot of filler.
That's right. The weight reduction in Chevrolet really worked here. Not only are the panels made of composites, but even the front aprons, which are usually steel parts holding the strut tower, are also made of composites here.
All right, listen, you can really tell that this car doesn't have a lot of mileage because the interior isn't worn out like it usually is in these American cars, like it was in our Charger. Can we open the rear hatch here?
Go ahead.
And as usual, just like people in the States like to do, throw everything inside. And what's that tube?
Listen, that's an added audio set. Of course, it's a tube with an amplifier, so most likely this car is going to sound pretty nice.
The interior is in good condition. Only the steering wheel airbag needs replacement.
Exactly. Listen, the most important thing left for us is to start this car.
My dear friends, turn up your speakers, turn up the volume slider on YouTube, and let's start it up, because these V8 engines in the United States really sound great.
Does it have a custom exhaust instead of the stock one?
Stock, yes, but it really sounds good, although I'll leave the exhaust for you to think about too. The clutch, my friend.
Oh Jesus, it's a manual here.
See, you can be surprised with American cars, right?
Hey, wait, hold on, before I started, what are these paddles for?
Exactly. That's also a pretty strange thing. Chevrolet put paddles even in the Corvette C7. See, the horn works. With a manual, they're used for rev matching. The practical use of these paddles, not really.
Well, man, for example, shut up. How do you imagine, I don't know, shifting up a gear and also changing gears at the same time? You'd have to do it like this with your hand or like this with both hands.
This is just some kind of idiocy.
Well, it's American style. Sometimes you can find all sorts of weird inventions in cars, and this is one of those examples.
All right, let's start the car.
Give it some gas while it's cold, as one crew from the Tri-Cities says, but from what I saw, we can check on the gauges. The car was already slightly warmed up. The car was warmed up and the oil is also warmed up. The oil pressure is okay, which makes me happy, because mechanically the car is
Functional.
exactly.
That's right, my friends. Now you're seeing some great shots of the Mercedes we drove here, and the Mercedes that was in our first episode when I also came to see you at your previous location.
That's right. During your previous visit, I showed you, among other things, two of my cars that were still damaged at the time. One of them was the Mercedes SLR 231, which is of course the Sport Liked 63. And that car has been repaired. As you can see, it's already in our colors.
And do you know how much it ended up costing you?
With the wrap and everything, it cost me about 125,000.
Oh Jesus, that's very little.
Yes.
And I'll be honest with you, that rim is really stuck in my mind, so...
Sorry, without the rim, it's 125. The rim adds 7,000, but that's with the wrap included.
All right, even if we say 140, there's still back and forth, emails, no emails, printer issues, and we have 140 grand. How much do you value it at?
You know what? They're worth about 300,000 in...
No way, 150, 140. Can he sell it for 300?
It's a rare model and very hard to assemble. I mentioned in the video that I searched for parts for almost 2 years, eventually buying them for 30,000. Normally those parts cost about 80,000 on Automoto or OLX if you want to assemble it quickly. I waited I searched and finally I managed to put the car together.
It also wasn't badly damaged, and I bought it at a bargain price because it looked a bit scary in the photos, although you could actually see the real extent of the damage in the...
And when did you buy it? How many years ago?
When I bought it, it was over 3 years ago.
It's a V8 biturbo.
V8 biturbo 5.5 liters plus a slight software tune.
That gives us 600 horsepower and 950 Newton meters.
Yes, and listen, I also asked Patrick to arrange those cars together. The ones you might have seen earlier in the episode, so you can see how these cars are repaired and what the final result looks like.
Here's another example, the BMW X3.
Yes, J01M40i, meaning a 3-liter gas engine.
We showed it to you in silver. It was damaged on the right rear door. This unit cost more than I expected. As I mentioned earlier, how much it would add up to in the end. I estimated the total would be around 100 to 110,000 zlotys, but it ended up just under 130,000 zlotys. Although here we also have a markup, because this type of unit is worth around 170,000 zlotys.
How many miles?
It's a 2020 model, already has 70,000 kilometers on it, and the rear has already been adapted to the facelift version here, just like I mentioned in the previous video. Next to me is the M4 F82, which is currently waiting for the Deutsche Tourenwagen Masters body kit. We're going to cut this car. We're going to make a big carbon body here in the Deutsche Tourenwagen Masters style, so there's a lot coming up. I think this project will debut next year, because we're starting work in September. It cost me 100 grand 3 years ago.
100,000 zlotys? Listen, 100,000 zlotys.
Yeah, 100,000 zlotys 3 years ago. Back then, these cars were much cheaper. Now, BMW M3 and M4 values are rising abroad, but in Poland, the M3 and M480 F82 aren't really holding their price.
The next car, we won't talk about it here. Go back to my first episode to see the description and specs of this car, because I think this is the most impressive car in your collection. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of power, definitely, yes.
And it's a car that actually works really well, both as a daily driver and for track use, although when it comes to my driving feel, I prefer the M4 F82. Next, there's an Icon, a car I've always wanted to have in my garage. I had a few of them, but I always ended up selling each one. Finally, I bought an M3 F80 in the special M3 F80.
Only 500 of this car were made with just 120 in this color.
You know what? In the end, it cost me around 200,000, so relatively a lot, not cheap, but honestly, for a limited edition, it's still a good deal.
Jahre M3 no.
30 Jahre M3, and besides, this car has 30,000 kilometers on it, so a very low mileage. Next, Sport Light 560 R107. 107 in this case is my partner's car. He really likes classic cars, ones that have good potential to increase in value, something that's always worth buying, especially on the American market. And a car that we're going to disgrace a little, because here too is a project that if you want, you can take part in. It's a Corvette C3 facelift, so it has the slightly longer rear. It's a Corvette bought for 30,000. It's only supposed to serve as a base for us, although in the condition you see it in, that's how it came out of the container.
We registered the car and recently drove it over 400 kilometers round trip to an event. Yes, on its own wheels.
So it's functional.
It's fully functional. We just changed the oil.
Of course, the car does have some parts that need work, but as I mentioned, it's a base for a big project that if Lukas wants, we can do together.
We'll see. Let us know in the comments if you'd like us to cut up this car and give it a wide body kit.
That's right. And the last flagship, a car mainly intended for long trips. In this case, during the oil change, just like you kind of caught us red-handed, it's the Mercedes E53 Coupe.
How much cash?
The car is for sale for 230,000 zlotys.
It cost me about 160 to 170,000 about 2.5 years ago.
Ha! We just showed you the cars and we're in the process of delivering fresh stock. Straight from across the big pond. Fresh delivery, sprowadzamy auta.pl.
They've got style, those bastards.
Alright, Patrick, straight to the point. Car price, because I'm curious about how much it is more or less, since I saw you have a list.
On the right is a 2024 Volvo XC60 with 3,000 miles in the stylish T8 Ultimate Dark Edition. It was bought for 134,000 zlotys, delivered new to the house, and is barely broken in.
On our left side, there's an Audi A3. These are the most popular cars, starting from 30,000 zlotys delivered to your home.
At the top is a Ford F-150, a 2019 King Ranch model with a 3.5 V6 EcoBoost engine.
The car was bought for 82,000 zlotys and delivered to your home.
On our right, there's also a Jeep Wrangler. 3 of these cars will be here.
The 2021 model starts at 79,000 zlotys, which is the price for this unit.
Next, we'll have a unit from 2020 and one from 2019. On our left side, there's the new generation Audi A3. This is a car from 2024 bought for 52,000 zlotys, delivered to your home. And it's a brilliant car to buy today because there are really a lot of these cars on the American market now. Just like this unit for 52,000 zlotys, a new car from 2024. It's really something phenomenal. On our right is a red Sahara Wrangler. This unit is from 2019 and was bought for 69,000 zlotys, delivered to your home. And again, an Audi A4, in this case from the year 2023. The car was bought for 88,000 zlotys.
Above us is a Jeep Wrangler from 2020 Sahara version, although with a 2-liter engine, and the car was bought for 87,000 zlotys, delivered to your home.
On our right is another Audi A4, this one from 2018, which I bought for 46,000 zlotys and had delivered to my home.
Look up, what does this car remind you of? I can give you a hint, it's a Buick.
What brand is it?
What is that?
Yes.
I have no idea.
The Buick Encore Opel Mokka is a 2020 car with 5,000 kilometers. I bought it for 43,000 zlotys and brought it home.
And again, on the right side, there's the Audi A3, and once more, these cars start at 30,000 zlotys. They're some of the cars we buy most often because for that 30 grand, you can get a really nice ride. We've got a 2-liter Turbo Quattro, something you can really enjoy.
Repairs cost up to 10 grand really, because there are plenty of parts for it. And here's another fairly rare car imported from the States, in this case, a Mini Cooper. But it's not just any version, it's the John Cooper Works, which is the most powerful version of this car.
This 2013 model was purchased for 30,000 zlotys and delivered to the house.
Friends, visit Sprowadzami Auta PL with code TASIEM for a discount. Patrick, what discount is it?
Get a 200 zlotys discount. So you'll pay 2,300 zlotys for the service and save 200. We warmly invite you to take advantage.
Gross, exactly.
I just wanted to say that if you wanted to import it on your own, it would probably end up costing you more anyway. Transport and other things that Patrick, by doing it on a larger scale, is able to save on. So in my opinion, what I'm telling you isn't some pushy advertisement. You might not even feel the cost of the commission, which goes to the guys.
That's right. Using our service saves on transport costs and provides certainty, a guarantee, and transport insurance. You won't have that if you import on your own, so it's worth using importers. So, what do you think?
So, once again, thank you very much for your trust and see you in future projects.
Exactly. And we'll be getting started on the Corvette C7. See you in the next video.